Coming up, a look at the damage left behind after a night of hundreds of firework complaints. The search for survivors continues as the demolition team brings down part of the collapsed condo building in Florida. Plus, as the drought wears on, farmers and ranchers turning to lawmakers for help. Valley News Live at 5 starts right now.
This is Valley News Live at 5.
Good evening, everyone. Fireworks, a hot topic for residents and police today after a busy night. Dispatchers for West Fargo, Moorhead, and Fargo tell us of those 3 metro areas, the most complaints came from Fargo, where fireworks are illegal. In one incident, a man blew off his thumb and index finger. Valley News Team's JC Dodd tells us just how many calls regarding fireworks came in.
263. That's the number of fireworks complaints Red River Dispatch received from June 28th up until the early hours of this morning. Over half of them reported in Fargo city limits where it is illegal to possess or shoot off fireworks. Fargo resident Katrina Conlon says she and her neighbors got a free show.
Well, last night there were fireworks kind of all around us, basically just one big circle. It was, not gonna lie, kind of fun to sit on our porch and enjoy the free show.
She says there must have been some kind of accident nearby.
Oh, about like 11:20, there were probably 3 fire trucks, an ambulance, and a cop car that showed up just across the street.
But that didn't stop the rule breakers. Conlon says the fireworks continued.
Probably until 1 in the morning.
Fargo fire officials say they responded to 15 fires. 12 of them were fireworks related. And Fargo Police Department responded to over 80 fireworks complaints. In Fargo, JC Dodd, Valley News Live.
One of those fireworks-related calls was at a garage in the 3100 block of 33rd Street South in Fargo. One unit is completely destroyed and 2 others are damaged. No word yet on the total damage estimate. And an investigation is ongoing after a truck caught fire in a hotel parking lot early this morning. Fire crews were called to the La Quinta Inn along 46th Street South in Fargo. The owner of the truck says there weren't any fireworks inside or anything else that could catch fire. Thankfully, no one was hurt. If you're ready for a break from the heat and the drought, some relief may be on the way. Here's Summer with the first look at your forecast.
Thanks, Stacey, and good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us for Valley News Live at 5 o'clock. Here is a tower cam time lapse of our Devil's Lake area as some rain showers and thunderstorms have been passing by, but not all of the region is seeing those showers and storms just yet. Clouds have been increasing across the southern half of the valley with some light rain showers. And here's a little area that passed through Devil's Lake, bringing a little bit of thunder and lightning, more thunder and lightning out in central North Dakota, where they have a better chance to see potentially a strong or severe storm, which is not anticipated across the valley. But we are expecting more widespread rain to move in by later tonight. Has a ways to go yet. Temperatures at this hour were at 89 in both Fargo and Grand Forks, 86 in Thief River, 87 in Bemidji, 84 in Fergus Falls, 78 with that rain-cooled air in Devil's Lake. For the rest of your evening here in Fargo, temperatures will eventually be cooling down into the 70s. Rain moves in overnight. I'll have your hour-by-hour forecast and just how much rain we are expecting in just a minute.
All right, thanks so much, Summer. The search for survivors of the condo collapse in Surfside, Florida is back on today. Overnight, a demolition team brought down the part of the building that was still standing. After rescue teams were able to start a new section of the rubble, they discovered 3 more bodies, which brings the number of confirmed dead to 27. 118 people remain unaccounted for. Chris Pallone has the latest from Florida.
Day 12 in the search for victims, and now the entire Champlain Tower South complex has been reduced to rubble. Deemed too dangerous to leave standing with Tropical Storm Elsa headed towards South Florida, demolition experts brought the remaining structure down in a matter of seconds late Sunday night. After a pause of more than a day, search and rescue teams were back on the pile minutes after the dust settled.
This pile closest to the building was actually holding the building up, and so therefore it was not safe to do search activities on that part of the pile.
The implosion is giving searchers access to parts of the debris they haven't explored yet as they try to recover all the people who are missing.
We're looking for voids again where someone may have been able to be inside.
Despite long odds that anyone could have survived the collapse for this long, local officials are still calling it a search and rescue operation, signaling their hope that someone will be found alive.
In my opinion, there should be no talk about anything but rescue, and that is the 100% focus of everybody who's on that site. Things are buzzing, the heavy equipment is working, the teams are up on the pile, they are digging, they are searching.
The threat from the remaining building and Elsa now diminished, rescue teams want to accelerate the search as they and anxious families hold out hope for a miracle. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
An 11-year-old boy has died following an accident at an amusement park in Iowa that happened at Adventureland Park yesterday. A boat on the Raging River ride flipped over with 6 people riding on it. 3 others are recovering from injuries. A spokesperson for the park said an investigation is ongoing and the ride remains closed. The U.S. Air Force is planning a massive training exercise over the Northern Plains states. The maneuvers are set for July 19th through the 23rd in the skies over the Powder Ridge Training Complex. The training area is the largest in the continental U.S. It covers nearly 35,000 square miles of airspace over the Dakotas, Montana, and Wyoming. Many counties across the state are experiencing the driest summer they've ever seen. The heat and lack of moisture isn't just drying out the fields, but it's also drying out feed supplies. At this point, many ranchers are left without much of a hay crop to feed their cattle. In order to get through the rest of this year, farmers are asking for some federal haying restrictions to be lifted.
Where in the world is the hay going to come from? So we're asking for flexibility. And if there's the total losses, can you take what's there and hay it? I mean, not have to, have the usual rules. So it's flexibility is the biggest asks on. We're going to see total losses.
Many ranchers are expected to have to buy hay this year from out of state, which drastically increases prices for the ranchers. With COVID-19 limits fading away, tourists are returning to Minnesota resorts, many of them from neighboring states. But the problem is a lot of those workers aren't coming back. A spokesperson for Hospitality Minnesota, which oversees the state's hotels, restaurants, resorts, and campgrounds, says the worker shortage has been building for more than a year. The industry now down 50,000 workers from a normal summer level. Many workers found other jobs during the first COVID shutdown in March of last year, and others left when a second hospitality shutdown was ordered later in the year. The North Dakota Game and Fish Department confirmed invasive zebra mussels in Twin Lakes. A local cabin owner spotted them attached to a floating log over the weekend. The lake is a popular fishing destination just a few miles north of Lemoore, North Dakota. It's about 6 miles from Lake Lemoore, where zebra mussels were discovered last year. Emergency rules go into effect immediately to try and stop the spread of the invasive species. Hospitals continue to see a severe blood shortage. 2 of our local blood donation centers say the demand is much greater than the supply. The American Red Cross and Vitalant are both facing a critical shortage. Vitalant is down to a 2-day blood supply. Hospitals are on edge with the increase of elective surgeries and ER visits. The summer and holiday weekends are always a slow time for blood donations. Blood banks are encouraging anyone to give if they can.
We have an aging population, and those are the people who thought about blood donation as being a civic duty. And we need to encourage that younger generation to start donating and carrying this on.
All blood types are needed, especially O. If you plan to give blood, stay hydrated and eat a healthy meal the night before. You can schedule an appointment at redcross.org or vitalant.org. Still ahead, tracking Tropical Storm Elsa. We'll show you where she's headed next.
We'll have some rain overspreading the region overnight tonight and into portions of tomorrow, and along with it, a big change in temperatures. Near 90 for many folks today, plummeting down to the 60s and 70s for your Tuesday. I'll have your rainfall forecast. Stick with us. Your weather is